Hello everyone! If you want to create a booking site for reservations using the JetBooking plugin, then this tutorial will help you to set up the plugin from scratch. We'll walk through each setting. Also, I will show you how to create a booking form automatically or manually, as well as how to update a booking item from the frontend without doing this via dashboard. If you like our content and would like to get more tutorials, please support our channel by subscribing and don't forget to hit the notification bell. For this tutorial, I will use JetEngine plugin to create posts for booking, JetBooking to add a reservation system, JetFormBuilder for forms, and JetPopup plugin. This plugin is not required. You can add a form directly to the page without the pop-up. Before we start, make sure you have a post type created along with the posts. In my case, I'm using the Elementor demo website. So here I have already prepared post type properties. To connect the booking system to the posts, install the JetBooking plugin, and then go to the setup page. The first step is to choose the type of booking, plain or WooCommerce. Plain type will use custom post type for booking. WooCommerce will use products. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to use a plain mode. On the next step, you need to specify the post type that will be used for booking. And if you want to save orders in a custom place, you can also create and attach a separate post type here. By default, all orders are saved in the JetBooking plugin, and this option will save them in both bookings and post type. And the same step, you can enable a WooCommerce integration. This will allow you to send the user to the WooCommerce checkout and thank you page after submitting the form. Also, if you use WooCommerce integration, orders will be saved in WooCommerce orders automatically. Pay attention that if you enable WooCommerce integration, you don't need to set up field for the order's post type. If you don't want to use WooCommerce checkout, you can leave this toggle disabled, and instead of this, use PayPal or Stripe payment add-ons in the form. Another setting is two-way synchronization. This will allow you to change the order status in WooCommerce automatically once the booking item is updated. Let's move on to the next step, where we can add custom columns. Please note that the plugin already has default columns and their names are reserved in the database. So you can't create columns with the same name. I want to add some columns to show the number of guests in the order as well as selected additional services and the total price. On the last step, you can create a regular form automatically or turn off the toggle and create the form yourself. Let's check how both ways work. Finish the setup and get the final page with all created content. Here you can open your post type. Since I'm using WooCommerce integration, there was an automatically created product named Booking. This product will be used for the purchase, so you can't delete or change it. You can also open the order page and the generated form. Before we look at the form, let's go through the new available plugin settings. In the main section, you can change the type of booking, post types for orders and reservations, as well as disable integration. In the Labels tab, you can change the default labels to those that suit you better. In the Advanced section, you can configure integrations, booking updates, and canceling. On the same tab, you can hide the setup page, so you won't reset the plugin by mistake. As well as you can hide database tables to prevent any changes in additional columns. In configuration, you can select whether you want night or day bookings. Note that this setting affects the final price. We'll test it later. On the same page, you can make different configurations of your booking rules, such as enabling the first booking day for checkout only, allowing only weekly bookings, setting up the offset for the first available date, making minimum and maximum number of days for booking, choosing the end date, and also you may add the clear button to easily delete the selected date and choose another one, or use month-year selection, so the user can pick another time period rather than current months. The last toggle will show the price in the calendar under each day. In the schedule, you can set common days for booking for all posts. And in Tools, you can see our custom columns. Here you can add a new column or delete existing one. Done! Now we need to customize the posts. Edit a post from the post type for booking. For me, it's Properties post type. At the very bottom of the page, you will see a section of pricing settings. We need to customize the price for one day. You can also customize a separate price for a different amount of days or for each day of the week. For example, I want to make price for weekend bigger from work days. Also, you can set up a different price for a specific period that is seasonal price. Each post has separate schedule settings. Same settings as in the plugin, but for each post separately. And you can also add units. To learn more about units, you can read our detailed tutorial, a link to which you may see in the description. Now let's take a look at the form that was created automatically when we configured the plugin. In JetFormBuilder, this form is called Single Page Booking Form. Please note that the booking form will work only on the single page of the post. There are two required fields in the default form: a hidden field for the post ID and check-in/check-out field. Without these fields, the form will not work. There are also several text fields for user data. In order to create a booking, you need to use the apartment booking action. In the action itself, you need to specify the apartment ID field. It's our hidden field with a post ID, and the field with booking dates. This is the check-in/check-out field. Here you can customize which field from the form will be saved in additional columns. As well as, since I have enabled WooCommerce integration, I can customize the field for the total price and add more details of the order that will be shown on the checkout, in the order, and WooCommerce email. It's also possible to automatically transfer information from the booking form to the checkout billing form, which means the user will not have to fill in this data several times. This is the whole form. Let's add it to the frontend. Open the single template for your post type and add the JetForm widget. Let's check out the form. As you can see, it's the simplest form for booking, no extra fields. After submitting, it redirects to WooCommerce checkout, which is created automatically by WooCommerce. Or you can use JetBooking plugin to customize this page. Also, in the order, you can see the details of our booking and the price. Click on the Place the Order button and the Thank You page opens. Let's move to the dashboard. Open the JetBooking Bookings page. Here you can see that an item has been created with the status of processing, and also an order has been created. Now let's create our own form with additional options. Go to JetFormBuilder, add a new one. Be sure to give a name to our form. In the form, I already have a field for the post ID. This is a hidden field. Then you need to add a check-in/check-out field. Give it a unique name and also customize the style. I want it to be two separate fields in one line. Then customize labels and placeholders. Choose the day format and separator. Done. I don't need the text field. Instead, I add a select field to select the number of guests. Since I have a text meta field, I select the option to generate dynamically from the Jet Engine field and specify the name of the meta field. This will generate options for the form field using the value from the meta field. Next, I want to add a checkbox field to select additional options. In the first checkbox field will be options with a daily fee per person. I have breakfast and dinner. Each option should add $5 per day for one person to the price. In order to add the price, don't forget to specify the calculated value to each option. Later, we will use this when calculating the total price. Duplicate this checkbox, change the name, and in this field I want to add options with daily rate regardless of the number of guests. So I have parking and an extra bed. The last checkbox would be with general options like airport transfer or city tours. The last field is a calculated field to get the final price. For the JetBooking plugin, in the description of the calculated field, you can find a ready-made formula on how to get the final price depending on the number of selected days. Let me show you how this macro works. Insert the advanced price macro and be sure to replace the name in the macro with the name of your check-in/checkout field. I already added the form on the front end, just replace the previous form with a new one. Let's select the dates. The price for one day is $30, and you see the price of $90 because in the booking settings I have selected the option to do night booking. That is, only nights are checked. Because I have selected 3 nights and 4 days, the price is shown as $90. If you change the option to day booking, then the price for 4 days will be counted as $120. Also, you can see in the description of the calculated field another macro, Meta Apartment Price. This macro shows a static price for one day. It doesn't need to be modified, you will see the price immediately on the front end. You can also repeat the logic of the advanced macro by multiplying the apartment price by the dates field. Then it will work the same way as the advanced option. Since I added additional options, I want them to be counted in the price. So I take the advanced price macro plus service A field, which is multiplied by the number of guests, because in this field the options are counted for each guest separately, and the number of days. Then I add a service B field and also multiply it by field with days. And the last field is service C. Let's check how the calculation works. I choose a one-night booking and the price becomes $30. Then I choose the option of breakfast, and if changed the number of guests, it will be updated in the calculated field immediately. Let's choose a longer period for 3 nights. The default price is $90. Now we add breakfast for $5 a day. You can see how automatically the price changes quickly. Same thing if we select other options. Let's go back to our form. We are almost done with it. All we have to do is add the action. Set up required fields. Hidden field for apartment ID and dates field for check-in, check-out. In database columns, we bind the field from the form to the column in the bookings we created. I'm going to leave WooCommerce integration enabled. The only thing, since I have a custom price, need to choose the appropriate form field to the WooCommerce price. Also, in the order details, I will pass the name of the property and the booked days. Let's save the form and check the changes. Hit the Submit button, and now on the checkout, in the order details block, we can see the name of the post we booked as well as the selected dates. Let's check the order in the dashboard to see if the custom options have been recorded. Click on Edit or Info icon, and in each custom column you see the options we selected. Great! Also, you may notice that by default just the price per room is recorded. So I saved the price with services in a separate column as well. Now you know how to customize the JetBooking plugin and create a booking form automatically or from scratch. Also, you can edit the booking item from the frontend. For this functionality, you will need to create form, pop-up, listing, and account page. Let's start with the form creation. Please note that this form will work the same way as the form for post editing. That is in the pop-up inside the listing or on a separate page using query variable. So the first required field should be hidden by current booking ID. The next field is Select with Post Source to choose another property for booking if needed. And a radio field to select the booking status. Pay attention that you can use Select or Radio for both fields. From the drop-down, choose Generate Dynamically option and then Get Value List from Booking Statuses. Now we need to select which status to show. If you need to see all available items, leave the field name empty. You can also divide the statuses into two types: valid, that is pending, processing, on hold, and complete statuses, and non-valid, cancelled, refunded, and failed statuses. I want to show both valid and non-valid options, so I add both labels through the partition. You can also use this form to update booking days using the check-in, check-out field. Now we need to customize the preset in the form to show the existing data. Open the JetForm settings and proceed to the Preset tab. Enable it and from the list select the JetBooking source. The next field is to specify where the preset will get data from. Since I will have a form in the listing, the correct option is a current ID. To see more about the global preset settings, you can watch the separate detailed tutorial. And now, let's select fields from where to pull information. The field with the selection of the post is Booking Apartment Item. The radio field is Booking Status, and the field for the date is Check-in, Check-out. It's also possible to edit additional columns if required. For this, you will need to select separately which column to take data from. The last step is to add form submit actions. For this case, you need action Update Booking. The setting of the action are similar to the setting of the apartment booking action. We also need to select a field for the booking ID. This is a hidden field. From this field, the form will understand which item should be edited. Also need to specify a field for the date. And fill in fields map, where each form field should be linked to the appropriate booking field. Done! Now let's create a pop-up. I will do it through the JetPopup plugin, as it should be a dynamic pop-up that would pass values from the listing to the form. Add the JetForm widget to the pop-up and make sure that you enabled loading with Ajax and force loading options in the pop-up settings. Then click on the Display Condition button and set it up to the entire site. Now we have a ready pop-up to use. Before creating a listing, let's make a query for it. Go to Jet Engine, Query Builder, Add New. Since we have to show booking items, the query type should be JetBooking. Here you can set up different rules to sort your items. For example, show items with a specific status only, or bookings that related to a certain post, and so on. I want to show all items, so my query is empty. Now proceed to the Listings and Components page and create a new listing with a Query Builder source. Use the query we just created. In such a listing, you can easily show different data about the booking. For this, you just need to add a dynamic field with the source post term user and find the booking section. As you can see, there is a big list of available fields to display. I want to show the ID of the item, current booking status, name of the post that was booked. As you see, by default, it shows the ID of the post. To show the title, turn on the toggle on the Filter Field output and select the option Get Post Title by ID. Also, I want to show check-in and check-out dates. They are saved in timestamp format, so for them you need to select Filter Format Date. And the last field I want to show is the nickname of the user who created the reservation. And the last main step, add the pop-up to the listing. I will choose a button widget for this. Change the button labels and view. Then open the Advanced tab and find the JetPopup section. Here you need to specify the pop-up and enable the toggle Jet Engine Listing Pop-up. Now let's set up style settings. Change the font family, size and color. Paste the same settings for all fields. To add the listing on the front end, I will use a user account, so only the admin can access it. You can add the listing on any page you want. For the account, let's create a new section template via Elementor. If you haven't worked with Profile Builder yet, I recommend you to watch a detailed tutorial which will help you to understand all the settings. Inside the template, I add only the listing grid widget. Now open Profile Builder via Jet Engine and create a new page in the account which will be visible only to users with admin role. Well done! Now we can check all the settings on the front end. Open the account, go to the Edit Booking tab, click on the Update button and see the form in the pop-up. All the content from the booking is automatically filled in the form. Let's change the post for booking, status to processing, and move the dates. Submit the form and you can see that the item in the listing has been updated immediately. It's important to know that for this, the form submit type must be set to page reload. Then when the form submits, it reloads the page with new info. Let's check in the dashboard whether the changes have been applied. You can see what data was selected before. Now refresh the page and see the new information. After watching the whole tutorial, you have learned how to make a form to create and update booking. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share your impressions in the comments and also give us a like. See ya! Cheers!